Hey, welcome to the Christian Media Marketing Show. My name is John, and if you are hearing my voice, this is the second time I'm recording this episode today, episode 199, because the first time something happened to the audio and I sounded like the Cookie Monster for the whole thing. So, didn't think you wanted to listen to that, so I'm going to reshoot this video and the audio and share with you a technique, some tools, some scripts for Google Ads. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're listening to the podcast or you're watching the YouTube show, we are honored to be able to spend time with you. This is episode 199. I can't believe it. A few years ago, when we started this, week after week after week, the goal has always been to share with as many people as possible things we're learning, resources we're using. And if you go back and watch the show years ago, you will see things and hear things that even now we're not doing it the same way. It's constantly changing. The tools are changing. The techniques are changing. And that's why we do this show, is to share with you what we're learning, so to hopefully help you be able to make Jesus known. And that's the key thing, because as I'm recording this episode, this is the Holy Week. This is the week where we recognize Jesus, God in flesh, came to this earth, lived life just like you and me, experienced temptation, yet he was sinless, took upon himself, upon his body, all of our sins of all of humanity for all of time, and was nailed to that cross for you and me, died, was buried, and rose again. And he is alive and coming back. And it's that message. That's the good news. That's the great news, that he conquered death. We have nothing to fear. And in a world that propagates fear, that tries to manipulate through fear, that tries to sell ads and TV times and political power for the sake and because of using fear, there's nothing that you and I have to fear. There's nothing that you and I have to fear, because Jesus is alive. And it is that message that I hope we are lifting up as we try to make Jesus known and make him famous. So, we're going to dive into some more training today about the subject of that. How do you do that? And we're talking again this week about Google Ads. Google Ads. And the key thing here with Google Ads is that it is a pull strategy. So when someone comes to Google or Bing, to a search engine, they have an intentionality to it. They're searching for something. They type in something like how to or where to or whatever it might be. So we're not generating the interest. We're just trying to capture or pull that interest, pull people from that search engine result page to our website or wherever it is that you want people to go or what you want them to do. Where a push strategy, things like Meta, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, we're pushing content in front of people, hoping that it sparks their interest and they will click on it and want to discover more. So both of those strategies are important. A push strategy can generate interest faster. Like, I can't make more people do a Google search, but I want to make sure that if somebody's typing in who is Jesus or how do I know Jesus, that they see our ad. So Google's a big part of what we do at Kavanaugh as we serve our clients, both push and pull. But when you're setting up a pull strategy, like a search ad strategy, it can be challenging to get it set up right at first. And it takes some testing, and it takes some really tweaking with keywords and negative keywords and all of your targeting options that are there to get it right. So there's a lot of work on the front end, but once you get it going, you can kind of just turn it on and let it do what it does. Where with the push strategy, you've got to always be making more and doing more there. So I like both of them. I really enjoy seeing how these tools continue to evolve and develop. And today is one of those. So if you watched last week's episode, I shared with you a new Google Ad interface. And you're going to see that in what I share with you today. The key thing here I want to share with you is the ability to do scripting. So you can make Google Ads do different types of reports, change certain keywords, start or stop different types of ads, all sorts of functionality that can be done using scripts within your Google Ads. So let's dive into the training here and I'll show you some examples of what I'm talking about. All right, so what you have here is a screen from the traditional Google Ads looking interface. So I have both of these in the accounts that we manage. This is the one that is more traditional. This is not the new interface. So to get to the area where you put in the scripting, you need to go to the very top bar, and across the very top, it's going to be search, reports, tools and settings, help, notifications. Under tools and settings, you're going to click on that, and that's where under bulk actions, you will see scripts. And this is an example of a script that we are using that sends a report to me every week of how this ad account is doing. What ads, what click-through rate, how many conversions, all of that. And so we use this type of script to create a report that lets us see a weekly reporting of how our ads and campaigns are doing. You could do this if you have different people on your team, maybe prayer partners or clients you're serving, churches, whatever it might be, to give just a broad overview of what you want them to be able to see. And you can put on here what kind of things do you want them to be able to see, what kind of things aren't important. All right, so you put that in, and then it will email you this report each week. There's a lot to this, and you might think, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can program all of this. You are literally just copying this code, putting it in, and then usually changing just a couple of variables. Maybe it's the email address or the account ID or certain things like that. But there are instructions out there, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is one. This is a weekly email report that we tend to use. And I like that one. Here's another one. Now, don't get caught up on this one. I'm just actually going to go back on this and show you how I got here, all right? Don't get caught up on the cost on this one. This is an account we just took over, and we are beginning to try to really drive down what this team was doing on their costs and some of those things. So don't get caught up on that. But this is the new interface. And so on this one, if you look, it's not going to say tools and settings at the top. So to get to the area where you would put the script in, you would go to the left and you would click on tools. And then you're going to go down there till you see it says bulk actions. And then from there, there's your scripts. All right, so tools, bulk action, scripts. So this is that new interface that I was beginning to demonstrate to you last week, and I like it. It seems to make sense to me. But regardless, old interface, new interface, the ability to put the scripts are in there. It's just where do you go to do it? So here you would click on scripts, and then it's going to open up one. Well, this one is one that Sean on our team did, and this one runs a report looking for keywords that have a click-through ratio of less than 1%, and then it emails the report to us. So it's going to look through all the keywords we're using in a campaign and say, these are ones that aren't working well. And it'll leave out the ones that are doing good. So it helps us continue to iterate and refine our keywords, our negative keywords, our targeting. And this is a very basic, easy script that then just sends an email with this information to, well, whoever you want, actually. So there's a couple examples of some scripts, but let me show you where you can go to see a ton more. If you were to just Google Ads scripts, one of the things you're going to see really soon is this, which is this page from Google, developers.google.com / the Google Ads and Scripts. I'm going to put the link to it. It's right here on the screen if you're watching the YouTube video. This one shows you all sorts of different types of ads and then the ad scripts for them. So campaign targeting, if you're wanting to remove an ad schedule, all right, if you're wanting to find locations, if you're wanting to do reporting, I'll click on that one. If you're wanting to look at reports, and you can see which kind here, looking at the campaign ID, report versus search. All right, ads app report, ads app search. And here's an example of it. So they put so much information there available on this page. And for most of these, when you click on them, all you have to do is maybe change one or two variables. And what I love about this is it's going to tell you what you need to do. Right? So this is one about dates and times. We've created heat map scripts. We've created ones that can change the amount that we're spending. If an ad starts to do well on the click-through ratio, it will increase the ad spend, or vice versa, lower that ad spend. All right. So go to developers.google.com, go to the Google Ads scripting area. You're going to find hundreds of different examples of Google Ad scripts that you can use. All right. So I hope that that is a benefit to you. If you're not using Google Ads, I really would encourage you to think about using them. It's a great tool. It's a powerful tool. It works really well with a push strategy as well. So regardless, the resources are there. Look into it. You might be missing something if you're not using this in your marketing efforts. As always, subscribe to the podcast, to this YouTube channel if you would. Share this with other people. Let us know if you're using Google Ads, some ways that you are using it, things that you're seeing, things that you're learning. We're wanting to learn from you as well. And more than anything else, I pray that your time celebrating Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection, that the tomb is empty, is something that will drive you to keep pushing forward. Keep testing, keep trying things to make Jesus famous. Until next time, take care and God bless.